this office. I'm just an agent here. And I also think I own the office. And I tell everybody that. Just kidding, I don't. Let's forget.
So we were just talking about power trips, about the illusion of power. What was this all about?
Well, here's my question. Did we name this episode, or are we going with, what do we call it? Friday?
I just thought of one.
Go ahead.
Well, we are going to introduce our guest properly, but he is Pete Bondarenko of PB Adjusting, PB, because Pete Bondarenko has no plan B, because he's all plan A. I don't know.
I like that.
I just came from the hip.
He made that up all himself.
I did no help with ChatGPT whatsoever from that.
All right, should we dive in and start now?
Let's.
So we're jumping into another episode of Minding Our Business, where we are talking about entrepreneurship and mental health and combining them together. We have a guest today, and it's going to be Pete. We're going to introduce him after we do our check-in.
Yeah, after we do a mic check here.
Mike.
That's fine. We were spiking a little bit, but it's fine. We can do this on the fly. How is Mike doing? We're here with our friend, collaborator, fellow business owner, multipreneur, Peter Bondarenko. So I already said PB Adjusting, which is a public adjusting firm out of Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Also, the newly launched Adjusting Academy, where, and I'm going to let you take over after this because I can't do it justice, where they're training the next generation of public adjusters, which is cool because it's giving a career path to people who know they need a career change. At some point they discover, like me, they're not the traditional 9-to-5ers working for a corporation, working for the man or the woman, doesn't matter, a boss, and they want to take matters into their own hands. And that's where Pete comes in to give people those type of opportunities. A true job creator.
Before I start hounding you with questions, because I'm already intrigued, can you tell us a bit about the company and then the switch into the academy?
Sure. So I've been doing public adjusting for over 16 years, and I've been with few other companies. And the reason I started my own was because the integrity and customer service and all those other companies I work with, I wasn't aligned with. I'm a man of integrity and respect. So that's why I left the other companies and I decided to launch my own. And at the same time, learning this industry more and more, I realized there's really shortage of public adjusters and independent adjusters in this field. Being that this is a recession-proof business, I think more people need to learn about it and maybe decide whether they want to take that path, whether a public adjuster, independent adjuster. But there's definitely a shortage in this industry. Not many people teach it. So why not create a adjusting academy where we can actually teach people this industry, show them how they can not only work from the car or home office, and not only maybe locally, but they can go nationwide, maybe even worldwide, and help other people in need. You know, fires happen all the time. I mean, we had the fires last year in California. People need help. I mean, imagine if you had your house burned down, what to do? People have no clue what to do. They call the insurance company and everything, depends on them, but they don't have...
The insurance company's job is to pay as least as possible, right?
Yeah.
This is what we know.
Well, it's a business. You got to understand. Yeah. Insurance company is a business. They have to make profit. They have shareholders, some of them. So it's a business. They have to be profitable. So they're going to do whatever they can to make profit. Now, our job is to help people in need to get a fair settlement. And especially now, it's getting harder and harder to get fair settlement from the insurance company. All the damages that happened in the recent couple of years, it's more than have been in the past. So they have to pay out and they're trying to profit. So
I will agree that I don't think there's a lot of spotlight on, being a public adjuster as a career. And it doesn't surprise me that there's it sounds like if you're going to enter it now, it could be a great field to get into. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, per statistics, last time I checked, I think only 2% of people filing an insurance claim used a public adjuster. 2%.
Does it cost money to hire a public adjuster then on the side, or do they get paid out with the insurance?
Well, public adjusters mostly work just like an attorney, contingency fee basis. So unless we get you paid, you don't pay anything. And then, yes, we do get percentage of that claim, but a lot of times we get you way better settlement than if you try it on your own. So the fee is definitely justified if you hire the right reputable public adjuster, because not all are equal.
But the fee, again, it's contingent on winning a settlement. So therefore, you're happy to help anybody out, regardless if they can settle a claim or not, because that's how you get in with them. That's how you build trust. At the same time, you know it's profitable for you, but at the same time beneficial for a homeowner, for a property owner, because when you do, let's face it, when you get that hit, you win, they win, everybody, gets said educate wins, but everybody gets settled.
Education is the key. I mean, unless you went through something, you're not going to know how it works. So, permanent public adjuster represent you, can guide you the ways that you should go. And, a lot of times I tell people, look, it's not worth filing a claim, or you don't have the coverage. If you call the insurance company, whether you have the coverage or it's not worth it, it's noted in a file as a claim. And it may not be even worth pursuing.
And you know what you just did in the eyes of a customer or potential client? You just gave them an insane amount of value, education, and trust. So for a marketing perspective, you just won. And now you have a future client in them if the need should ever arise because of your honesty. Second, they're going to know somebody who goes through this at some point. You're their top referral. Of course, you didn't profit off of that deal in a transactional, sense, but in a transformational and pipeline building, that's it.
Yeah, so clarify, because a lot of people never even heard the public adjuster term. So to understand what public adjuster is, it's an advocate for the policy holder. Whether you're a homeowner, business owner, we are the advocate for you to fight for you and negotiate with the insurance company to get a fair settlement. So that's what a public adjuster does.
Let's take a trip through time. Peter, how you got here today. So I've known you, we're coming up on 3 years, because there's a reason that actually was a very important moment when I met you at a networking event, because of something you said to me. We'll peel back the layers on that. What I know is that you immigrated to the United States, late 80s, didn't know a lick of English, and worked up through...
Wait, I did know one word.
What was it?
I'll be back.
I'll be back? The Terminator was very big in the late 80s and early 90s. Yeah, it was my era.
All right, now I'm really intrigued. Where are you from?
So I was born and raised in Poland.
In Poland? My last name is Sadusky.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a married...
But let me guess, do you speak it?
I can say babci.
Oh, well.
Or what's this? And it was the iljaji.
All right, you remember it, yeah.
I had a lot of Polish in me.
See, let's find out like that is... For those keeping score at home.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, so I was born and raised. I came here in 88. Not knowing any English.
How old were you?
Stop shaking the table.
I was 16.
You're 16. So is your wife also Polish?
No, she's not.
She's
a mutt.
American.
She's mutt.
She
probably has some Polish in it, but we don't know for 100% sure. But anyhow, my kids are half Polish, obviously, but I came here pretty much wearing what I was wearing. I didn't have much because I actually came from an orphanage. So pretty much starting from the beginning, new life, which I was able to, have the opportunity, which turned out to be a wonderful thing.
So you came here at 16 by yourself?
My grandmother and my grandfather came here and brought me here. My uncle is the one that actually kind of adopted me.
Gotcha. So do you know, or your birth, you didn't grow up with your birth parents at all?
No, my dad left when I was really early years, and my mom passed when I was young. That's why I ended up in an orphanage. And then happens to, opportunity showed up, and I took it and came to America and living the dream.
Yeah.
It is truly self-made story.
Self-made story.
You said the word opportunity a few times, and that's something that you can be trained on how to spot opportunities, or sometimes people are kind of gifted with that. But they are everywhere. Not all of them are good. What's your methodology for that?
Listen, opportunity happens everywhere all the time. And most people, if their opportunity was doing jumping jacks in front of them, they would never notice it. It's just a matter of your mind and open up your eyes and always thinking like, how can you make this work for you and you benefit? That's why it can make a difference. I mean, there's opportunities everywhere. You just got to figure it out how to use it to your advantage.
Some people are risk averse to that. And I feel like you're the opposite of that. You're willing to try things, but also cut ideas when they don't work, that's a necessity. What would and we can say it's mindset training, which maybe you're naturally gifted at that, or because of the circumstances that were given to you, that was your way through and a way out. But what would you say to that? I can't, or I can't, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I guess my biggest advantage was because I was self-independent from a young age. I worked in a farms, collecting potatoes, strawberries, you name it. I worked since I was young. That was my work ethic. And to this day, I still have great work ethic. But I think what it really turned for me was joining a network marketing, where actually the leadership in that network marketing taught me a lot about, self-development, reading the right books, listening to the right audio tapes, surrounding yourself with successful people. That's where it really comes to. Show me your 5 closest friends. I'll tell you your future, period. And there's no lies. And that's what I did. I mean, I've done plenty of bad things in my past, but when I changed and surrounded myself with successful people, got rid of the crabs that tried to drag you down, that's when you can excel. But it's all in your mind. Look, we're all born the same. We have all equal opportunities. What makes me better than you? Nothing. It's just the mindset that I deserve to have it. So if you know you deserve to have it, you can have it. You just got to work for it. Nobody's going to hand it to you, but have a plan, implement it, and just work hard. Work hard now when you're young, and you have easier when you're older. If you have it easy now when you're young, you're going to have hard when you're older.
It's true. It's true.
You're poison.
I do say work smarter, not harder, but there is a way to bridge that, which is what you're talking about. And I do like the framework of I deserve it, but not from an entitlement perspective, but from I still have to earn it.
Mm-hmm.
I am good enough to earn this and to receive it through the work product. That's a powerful distinction too, from just gimme. I'm entitled.
Well, that's part of the mindset too, is like a lot of people think they don't deserve it. Like they're telling whatever you tell your mind, which you guys can agree, whatever you tell your mind is what your mind is going to think. It's a muscle. So every day you can look in the mirror and say, I am going to be a millionaire. And there's a better chance that if you say that to yourself every day, you are going to end up potentially being a millionaire.
Manifestation. So I mean,
that 5 friends thing, that's a big thing that we talk about in my office a lot. But as you're growing, like as I started growing, getting older, I noticed that happening. Like it sucks, but you outgrow people. Not that you can't still be with them, but you outgrow them in a way where, like, if we're all sitting together, we're not going to want to talk about the same things. You don't want to go and like drink all the time. So it just kind of changes.
Or when you do, realize that they're not going to be a path or conduit to your further success. At the same time, I'm not a pull up the ladder type. There's more room at the table, but you gotta bring yourself here.
Yeah, that doesn't mean, you stop talking to your friends. You just got to figure it out, who's going to help you grow, not only business-wise, personal-wise, and your circle will change as you grow.
Yeah.
I mean, your success will stop if you stop learning and growing from other people.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be stale, hang out with the people you are with. If you want to keep growing, find other people to hang out and learn from, more successful than you, because that's the way to go.
What's it that they say? When you're the smartest person in the room, you got to find another room.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as your local village idiot,
to leave, right?
I said it first.
Yeah. I agree that you have to leave the room, but you're still providing value to the other 4 people in the room, right?
Well, there's only 3 people in the room, so I think you just sussed yourself out.
I was talking in
Hypothetically. Okay. All right.
You can always learn something from another person.
No matter what. Because even if they're doing something shitty, you learned not to do that. But how long have you had your own business?
So I launched my own business 2017.
Okay, so it's been like, what year was it?
7 years.
8 years.
So what was the transition like? Did you have any like tough moments to where it was like bringing you down mentally or anything like that? Like stressing you and your wife out? Or was it a pretty easy transition because you knew the business already?
Starting a business is never easy and it's never stress-free. I actually started my own business because as I left the other companies, people were still calling me and, asking for help. And I'm like, well, you know what? People are calling. I'm going to start this as part-time doing on the side. I was doing construction at that time. I had my own company. So I'm like, well, I do it on the side to just help people. If I can get them the money and make the repairs, doesn't cost them anything. That's just no brainer. So I started part-time, but then the business just started coming in faster and faster. And, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I can't handle doing construction and this. So let's just focus on this. And history's here now.
Do you still have the construction business at all or now?
Yeah, I do have the construction business, mostly consulting.
Okay.
And I do help some people with roofing and siding, but I don't get involved into general public unless it's friends, family, something.
Sure.
I'll get involved, but I don't personally do the construction unless it's my flips or my rental properties.
As a real estate investor yourself, which is the other business.
Correct.
Yes. That's all.
Yeah,
That's
just
just
a bunch of
it's just a bunch of investors. Yes.
So
Well, so Pete, I met you about 3 years ago at a networking meetup in Newtown at the Temperance House in Newtown. Our buddy, our mentor, also my client, Larry Steinhaus, hosted a lunch, twice a month lunch there. And this is when I was new after firing my boss and quitting my job. It's kind of hanging out at local networking events. And I like that crowd because it was like kind of a no rules, like no shade against BNI or Latip. Not for me, because I'm I'm definitely a contrarian.
what's that mean?
I question and counter everything.
Yeah, I guess I'm a questioner.
Yeah.
I and my wife both.
But you're a networking junkie too, which I wanted to bring up. But anyway,
I wouldn't say junkie. I
mean it in a good way.
My mentor told me once, and I will never forget this: show me your network, and I will show you your net worth. And it's totally true. It works for most successful people. You ask for the network, they'll tell you their network, and you'll find out who they are. And like, well, no wonder why.
So I met you there. We had lunch at a school. We all exchanged information, and I've always taken that approach to networking. Like, I'm not going to go there and pitch myself, but I'm really there to learn to make some connections. But man, what a like a nexus level moment in my community development and growing my circle. It was a bunch of people there, half filled with kind of like investors, self-employed, and then some insurance people, financial advisors. And since I was just starting out, I was very much more risk averse than I am now. Now I'm like, I got my $300,000 line of credit on just credit cards alone. Like I'm playing that game, learning, knowing how all that works. But like, I got this $20,000 in cash doing nothing. I might as well just put that in something passive. There was a guy there pitching CDs, certificates of deposit. A higher yield than any banks were giving. But at the same time, your face just sunk. You're like, on your way out, you said, "We just met. Don't do that." Put in real estate.
Yeah,
Put in real estate.
that's how I was just gonna say. We just bought another property, and it just so happened I went to a mastermind last week, and it was like about calculating your net worth.
Yeah.
One, if you haven't done it, do it, because it actually we're at a goal, and I didn't even realize it because you don't think about it. But literally, as I'm filling it out, it's like, what's the cash you have? It's like, oh, last week in my checking account, I had, $60,000, but then I bought a house. Now I only have 23. So it looks like, we're net worth doing really well.
Sure.
But we just put every single dime we have right back into houses.
That's funny you say that because a few months ago, June, July, I went to Financial IQ with Larry, and they did that whole exercise about your worth, and I put it on paper, and I was like, shocked.
When you realize,
Because you don't realize till you actually add it all up, like how successful or, where you got now versus where you were, a year or 2 years ago. But you have to focus on, growing that. And I was surprised to see those numbers.
when you find out that you've made your goal, like you're like, wow, like I became a millionaire through investing in real estate.
Yes.
And you're like, wow, I didn't even realize that because I've never put it down on paper. Because you still, like, people don't realize when you have rentals, I quote unquote, we're not rich. Like, we have cash flow, we don't touch it. The goal is to eventually have them, take all of our monthly and stuff. But no one realizes that it's a long-term game.
It's a big-ass piggy bank.
Yeah.
It's a big-ass piggy bank that...
And the first million is the hardest to make.
Yep. Oh, life. I preach it so, I just don't want I preach it so hard to people looking for their dream home and then getting outbid. I'm like, just get into a house. You can leverage it later to get into your dream.
Yeah, I think the biggest key to take is whether you have a job, working whatever hours you're working, you should always have a side hustle. Without the side hustle, you're paying the highest taxes, highest brackets of taxes. So if you do have side hustle, you can always use that money to put it aside to grow it and then invest in real estate, invest in stocks, invest other opportunities out there. But if you're not going to have a side hustle, whether it's Uber driving, Lyft driver, the Uber Eats, whatever, there's plenty of businesses. If you go to ChatGPT, hey, give me ideas how to start small business without, large scale cash up front, there's tons of them. You can do anything and just even a couple hours a week, utilize that income to invest. But not only that, income that makes a difference is the tax advantages that you can use to deduct from your taxes to grow your wealth. That's where the key is. It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep.
Tax time is the worst time for us. It's very annoying.
Is it frustrating? Does it make you feel a certain way?
Well, we do like 4 different ones because we have 4 different LLCs, and then it's just too much. Taxes.
So yeah, my bookkeeper loves me.
No, we got fired from our accountant last year. Not fired. He's essentially said, like, I'd really want you guys to go to somebody that like is more equipped with real estate.
Yeah, that
just
makes sense. Yeah.
We're just busy. We just want we're like, you already have our stuff. Just like do it.
Well, and as you grow, you have to change your team.
Mm-hmm.
Your accountant, like even right now, I feel like my accountant, we are past that threshold that we actually talk to another accountants, interview them. We need to change it because we know we are past that threshold where this accountant feels, competent or, I mean, he's a great accountant. I love him. But I think we're past that point. We're getting too complex, too complicated, too many things going on for him to handle it. So
it's they probably, and rightfully so, have their niche with working with solopreneurs up to small businesses, and they can absolutely crush it at that because there's no shortage of that. But then when they get to a point or you come to them with certain problems that they're not equipped to handle, they should refer it out. So any business who's niched in properly.
But our guy, he was telling us like, hey, I want you. It's not like, you're doing 4 returns for us. It's like a lot. That's good money for him. But it's like, he's like, no, like, I want you to be with someone that's doing it. And I love business owners like that. Ones that will say, I'm not right for you. Like, we should explore, not ones that, shove it down your throat.
Yeah. Or take it on without the competency to fulfill properly. That's the other side. That's even worse. I actually did it too in my business. We do websites, SEO, advertising. And I had a friend come to me looking for a small business website for their organization. And I quoted them the bottom price because it's systemized and we can deploy it. And he's like, we're a brand new organization. We can't do that. I said, no problem. And I said, then I'm not the one for you. But one of my best friends who I've worked with for 20 years, he does freelance type work and his rates comport with what you need. Connection. Everybody wins.
Yeah. And then when they grow, maybe they'll come back to you.
Possibly or not. Doesn't matter.
It's true.
They're going to refer somebody of that size to me.
That is true.
And it's the same thing of giving free policy reviews and whatnot, like you're doing. Open houses, you're giving a lot of value. Not every single one of those people is going to be your customer.
That is very true. People love to come to you with questions.
Yes.
And sometimes that's all they want to do, bug you with questions. You mentioned you had 4 kids before this. Are any of your children involved in any of your businesses?
No. My youngest still in high school, although he's thinking maybe college or tech school. He kind of is curious about what I do, but I don't see him maybe doing that.
Gotcha.
My daughters, obviously, they're not interested in the business. And my oldest son, he's just a mess. So I tried that earlier in it. Right. Earlier in the day, I even, encourage him to get a license and do the business. And sometimes the timing, people are just not right time for you. I met Larry years ago. It wasn't time for me back then. But a few years back, 3 years, it's different. So it's all about timing. Sometimes it may not be the right timing. Who knows? Maybe a few years from now, he'll come and say, hey, Dad, I want to work with you or for you. And great, I will teach him. I mean, he sees what I do with the investing. He sees give his own money and say, hey, Dad, can you invest for me? Because he sees what I do. And he's curious. He wants to learn about option trading and stocks and all that because he sees me doing. So that's a great thing. But the adjusting, I don't know. I don't think the young generation is really, most of them are interested in that. They don't want to sit behind the computer remotely at home in their pajamas and work from home. That's not, how we work.
There's a lot of jobs like that. They just don't quite pay what you're paying.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a great industry. I mean, you can really make great amount of money. And even if you do like head adjusting, I mean, you're talking 5, 6, 7 figures you can make easily. And it's your own boss pretty much. So
Do you have employees?
I have 8 people that work with me.
Okay. And are they like 1099 or are they W-2 and they?
So I have an assistant that's full-time assistant, but most of them are 1099s. They subcontractors, just like real estate. Pretty much.
Yep.
Tell the good people about your marketing agency. No, don't.
I used to know that. I have Dan Marketing Agency near you in my phone as Dan Marketing God because that's how I feel though.
Oh, small G, I hope. Small G and God.
No,
I'm trying to keep it on. Okay.
dead ass. Oh,
Yeah.
look, it's a big G.
Your worries.
I will plug in then for sure because we have used other companies, big companies, in the past few years. I mean, big. We spend a lot of money, and we get not many results. And ever since Dan took over, I've definitely seen difference, and he's definitely helping us big time. So, hiring the right person is definitely a key to success.
And I appreciate that more than words can express. You said Many Results, which is actually my website, manyresults.com. And the same goes true with every industry. You got to have the right agent representing you, the right landlord representing you, all your other 9 different titles too, real estate coach, personal coach, minding your own
Oh,
business.
we didn't get to those yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be adding some
Titles?
Some titles.
Yeah.
One title at a time.
1 per month. It's like the 12 days of Christmas.
12 days of titles.
12 days of titles. All right. 50 Shades of Titles. And I think I'm done with that now. So, yeah.
You made it weird with 50 Shades of Grey, and now you're done with it.
I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead or
I
behind.
gotta go to 50 Shades of Pink.
Yeah. I thought I did say wear a PB shirt or something that you would normally wear, which is we have similar but different panache in our style.
Let's say that about some, obnoxious shirt, but I'm like, I don't want to take it away from you.
No, you look nice. You got a nice shoes. You got nice like pants when I touch them. Yeah, they feel nice. Dan just looks like Dan.
I'll take that for what it is.
Like you got real stylish shoes. The people will see that at the end.
They will, because we have a tradition at the end of the show.
Oh, well, they always say, look professional.
Well, the whole world's about to say.
You know how many times I hear people telling me, I had this adjuster show up in a tank top and shorts. I mean, how are you going to represent company wearing like that? That's big.
We just had an opposite conversation last week, is that I used to be very like, listen, God, you dress nice, do the showings. And I'm like, I'm Adam Sandler. Like, you know what? I want to dress like this. The house is going to look the same whether I'm in heels or not. Track record speaks for itself. Like, I feel like you can still do the job good and be comfy.
Okay.
Not in every industry, I guess, but
let's go to the bank, apply for a loan. Let's see who gets the loan quicker.
they're going to be checking bank statements and credit, right?
No, you're wrong.
They're going to go off the way you look.
A lot of times it's the impression.
That sounds like I can have a lawsuit there.
Maybe, but
I didn't realize that dressing poorly was a protected class.
Yeah, dressing poorly.
Yeah, you're trying to think of gender, origin.
But I also feel like there's a lot of people that dress very professional that do no business and feel like I don't need to dress like overly fancy all the time at this point.
And I agree with you. At some point, like I've been on this cruise with there was nothing but billionaires, and looking at them, you would never know that we're billionaires. But that's a little different because you don't want to attract attention, and you're already successful. You probably don't have to work it. But in my industry, going seeing people, I do want to represent my company, myself as professional. So that's why I usually dress up.
Yeah.
Especially if I go to networkings. You gotta look nice. I mean, marketing, it's a little different. Real estate is a little bit different. But in my industry, people think of me like an attorney. And how do attorneys dress? So, but not all public adjusters
What do
do
people
that.
think of attorneys? Kidding. Some of them are good.
I work with some good ones, but I mean, it's the same one that are the same.
Attorneys. We have attorneys we work with. They excellent.
We gotta get an attorney on the show.
Got one. Oh, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to wrap up. We're at time. So, I mean, yeah, time flies when you're adjusting. pbadjusting.com if you need a policy review. Adjustingacademy.com. It's local right now, but there will be a full online academy, coming to a...
Do you mind if I share just a couple books that if people are interested, they should read?
Go for
Yeah,
it.
of course.
I mean, one of the first books I read that really intrigued me was The Secret. Then there was the How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Mhm.
Another one, The Richest Man in Babylon. Those three books should be like a must read. If you want to, become successful in business or even in your job. Those books are excellent. You should read them.
Read them and then do something. Read them and then do something.
Let's tag them in the description.
We absolutely got it.
But I want to say thank you for coming and chatting with us.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
I will be looking out for your academy because we would like to have you back on again to talk about that and the implementation of that. Anything else?
Just a high kick.
Just the high kick. Here we go. Come on, Pete. Get it up. And that's how we
That's how we end.